Trib Live High School Sports Network is the official video and audio streaming partner of the WPIAL. We broadcast over 2,000 sporting events each year and cover 17 sports in over 170 schools. At HSSN, you'll find the latest in high school sports news, live and archive broadcasts, scores, standings, and much more. Trib Live High School Sports Network, your high school sports leader. All season, every season.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAT.
Gold heading back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
Swing and a miss! A no-hitter in the WPIAL Championship game!
The Mohawk Warriors have knocked off the four-time defending champion and are champions again.
The Shenango Wildcats are the WPIAL champions.
Elwood City, WPIAL champions for the first time in school history.
Cox with it. Cox all the way in the jam again. The Red Hurricanes storming their way to another title. Swing and a miss. A one-hit masterpiece.
Turn. Vegas and Maple keeping himself, coming near side. Can they hit him? No! He got in! Will he get it? Won the state championship!
Strike three called. Put another notch in the belt for Laurel Spartans three-peat.
And the Shannon is the 2021 2A Girls Champion.
Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet. And a pleasant good evening coming to you from Bill McNeese Gymnasium here at Shenango High School. WPIAL basketball on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Tonight, it's a Class 2A Section 1 contest. Playoff implications on the line as the Shenango Wildcats host the Riverview Raiders. Tonight's broadcast on Lawrence County SportsNet and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, brought to you by Madeley Chiropractic, keeping you in the game. By Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George, keeping promises for over 80 years. By the Red Zone, score big at the Red Zone. Tonight's broadcast also brought to you by the Crane Room Grill, family-owned restaurant, brewery, and banquet center. By Ponch's Insurance, love the life you live, worry-free. By the Tri-County Principals Association and the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Shenango Riverview. Big game scheduled for Friday. One of many games across Western Pennsylvania snowed out, allowing us to be able to have this doubleheader here today. Girls for Shenango victorious in their game over New Brighton earlier tonight, 58-24. The boys looking to complete a Wildcat sweep here tonight. Shenango 3-5 in section play. Riverview at 2-5. A win tonight basically means a clinched playoff berth. It's not officially official, but about as official as it's going to get for Shenango. Currently only a game out of second place as well, so can really vault them up the standings. Thanks for joining us at lcsportsnet.com. I'm James Dodson alongside Mike Conglos, making his on-the-mic debut here for us tonight on Lawrence County SportsNet. Mike, thanks for joining us and welcome to the show.
Hey, absolutely. I appreciate the invite. I'm excited to be here.
Well, it's going to be a fun one here tonight, a game when they played first time down in Oakmont, down at Riverview, an 11-point victory for Shenango. Actually only their second win of the year at that point, but a couple of big wins lately. A non-section win in a close game that we had on the network here against Laurel, and then a couple of good wins in section play, including a huge win over Springdale, who is currently number 2 in the Class 2A Section 1 standings, and a win over Swickley Academy. Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, Olsh is Olsh. They now have the longest winning streak in the entire state of Pennsylvania. Can't be too faulty of that one, but to look at the fact that you've won 2 of your last 3 and against 2 pretty quality opponents in Springdale and Swickley Academy, Shenango's starting to fire on all cylinders and peaking at the right time of the year, Mike.
Yeah, it seems like the section is close, so every single game counts, especially once you get down to the wire like this. So hopefully we're going to get to witness a really good basketball game here.
And we're looking at a Riverview team coming in with a lot of height, 6'5", 6'4", 6'2", 6'2" in that starting lineup. Shenango has some pretty tall bodies, starting with Brody McQuiston. We'll talk about him in a minute, but when you have a lot of height that you're having to deal with down low on the other end, defensively, what is it that you're really trying to do, Mike, in terms of stopping that inside presence for Riverview?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing that you can do is box out, keep them out of the paint as much as possible, and create the game to be your kind of speed. You know, I'm guessing if they've got some height, you know, they want to turn this into a little bit of a track meet, get the ball moving, you know, pick up the pace a little bit so they can't get back in their defensive sets. Gives them a little bit of an opportunity to take an advantage where they can.
Nice crowd we have on hand. This is our Luxembourg, Garber, Kelly, and George pregame show. A law firm of AV-rated attorneys and super lawyers, LGKG's been keeping promises for over 80 years. Luxembourg, Garber, Kelly, and George, we try cases, and insurance companies know it. Let them guide you through the legal process or get your free consultation at lgkg.com. But first, we're going to pause for the playing of our national anthem here at Shenango High School. And with that, we're about ready to get things tipped off here from Bill McNeese Gymnasium. Shenango 3-5 in section, 5-13 overall. Riverview at 2-5, 6-12. So big for Riverview as well. With a victory here today, Riverview keeps their playoff hopes very much alive. Shenango again, currently in 4th place, but just a game behind Springdale and Southside Beaver. Could be a big potential game for them. A win tonight doesn't officially clinch it, but makes it very difficult not to get in with the tiebreakers. Top 4 in the section, Mike, will make it into the postseason. And with that in mind, a chance to complete a season sweep and on your home court tonight in front of a packed house. Big game tonight for Coach McQuiston and his Shenango Wildcats.
Emotions are going to be high, James. So, we've got to make sure that these kids, they hone in on what they're supposed to do. They stick to their game plan. I'm sure they've been prepared for this game. And it's all about, honing in on that emotion and putting the ball in the hoop, playing a little bit of defense, and seeing how the game turns out at the end.
Young lineup for Riverview and Coach Phil McGivney, a sophomore and 4 juniors. Nate Spraycar's a sophomore, 6'2 sophomore. Luke Migley, a 5'10 junior. Amberson Bauer, 6'2 junior. And 6'4 and 6'5, Jack Beltler and Liam McElligott are the starting 5s. So it's Spraycar, Bauer, Migley, Beltzer, and McElligott for Riverview. For the Shenango Wildcats being announced on the court, Preston Schrei, Dalton Peters, the 2 seniors on the court for Shenango. 2 juniors are 6'4 junior Kyle Lenhart and 5'11 junior Braden Ziegler, and a 6'4 sophomore Brody McQuiston. Schrei, Peters, Ziegler, Lenhart, and McQuiston, the starting 5 for Shenango. Here tonight wearing their home whites in the student section, making their way in. How nice is it, Mike, to have the student section, the crazy crowds? I mean, it's been a while since you and I have been here at the gymnasium back from your playing days, but always a fun atmosphere here at Shenango.
It just raises the intensity, it gets the players going, and it's what it's all about. These kind of crowds, this kind of student section, it's what these guys play for.
They met back on the 11th of January, and it was a 11-point victory in that game for Shenango on the road. Can they hold serve now back on their home court? Loudspeakers are blaring here, and it's a tip controlled by McQuiston, but first possession is going to go to Riverview in their road blacks going left to right. A little 3-2 zone action defensively for the Wildcats. They're going to try to slow down Riverview and really pack in defensively, it looks like, early. They're able to get it inside. Spraycar, good move across the post. Pass to Belter, off the mark, no good. Fighting for the rebound. It's going to be corralled there by McQuiston, and Shenango looking to run. Now pulling it back up is McQuiston. Not surprised that they're going to try to pack it in defensively, though, Mike, early going here for Shenango.
Yeah, and I think that's what you want to do to slow them down. You want to keep the ball out in front of you. You don't want to get into the paint.
Top of the key, Ziegler, good pass down low. McQuiston's going to try to back his way in. Gets under the hoop and from basically under the basket,
That's a
gets
great
the first
reverse
basket.
finish. Great reverse.
He was practically out of bounds, and now they're going to extend the pressure a little bit with the 1-2-2. Across the timeline to Bauer, cross court, gets it to Belzer. His pass to the high post going to be stolen away.
Big steal by McQuiston.
He's going to try to go one-on-one. Euro step into the lane. He's got the first 4 points. And a
Coast to
quick
coast with a great
timeout here
take.
called by Riverview. And tell you what, first-year coach McGivney not pleased. He's going to take a quick 30-second Pontius Insurance timeout. Less than a minute into the game, if you're a coach, what's causing you to make that timeout call that early? Obviously, can't be pleased.
Yeah, obviously not very happy about the way that this game has started. You know, you go in with the game plan, and when your players aren't executing, you know, what you've practiced all week for, that's obviously very frustrating. And I think that's what we're seeing from their coach right now.
An early 4-0 lead on a basket down low, and then a turnover turn to easy buckets the other way for Shenango and Brody McQuiston. He's got 4 early points. McQuiston and Ziegler have been the 2 main scoring threats for them over the course of this year. We'll see if they can continue, and they're going to get into that extended press again, try to force some Riverview turnovers against a young lineup. Again, no seniors in the lineup for Riverview. Playing catch in the forecourt. Belzer gets the return pass. Now back to Migley. Tries to dribble drive. Well defended there by Schrei. Into the corner. Lenhart comes out to defend there against Bauer. Around the perimeter it goes. Good ball move from Riverview. Just good defensive positioning for Shenango. Tough foul line jumper off the mark. Offensive rebound, McElliott. Going to lead to a 3-ball for Riverview. Again off the mark. Long rebound towards the corner. Schrei giving chase out of bounds. He's the last to touch it.
You know, it's those second chance opportunities. Shenango needs to really make sure they're boxing out, making contact with the defensive offensive player, and they're getting those rebounds.
6:28 remaining in the first quarter. Inbound pass getting double teamed there is Spraycar, able to get it back to Belzer, and he's going to bring it back out and try to corral the troops. McElliott into the corner, left
Wide
alone.
open
Spraycar 3 off the mark, so a couple 3 balls not falling early for Riverview. McQuiston, crossover dribble, gets into the lane. Now he's going to hand it back off to Peters. Around the perimeter it goes, and now setting up the play will be Preston Schrei, dribbling on that Shenango Wildcat logo at midcourt. Ziegler in the corner, inside the lane, 15-footer up and in.
Nice pull-up jumper.
Trades away a 3 for an easier 2, makes it a 6-0 advantage for Shenango. Lenhart nearly a steal. Riverview still in possession. They'll get the call from the bench. Right wing, Bauer tries to drive baseline against Lenhart. His pass is going to be poked away. Peters got a hand on it. Ziegler then is going to give it right back away as it goes off his hands, off his head, and into the Riverview bench.
And Shenango has been jumping some of these passes here early on going in this game, and active hands, I think, are going to play a big part in what they're trying to do defensively.
A little over 2 minutes into this game, a 6-0 advantage for Shenango. 2 early turnovers forced. Riverview's had a couple of second chance opportunities. They just haven't been able to capitalize yet on the offensive rebounds. Now looks like a change defensively, maybe a 2-3 zone this time down the court for Shenango. Jump stop in the lane, little floater is going to find its way home. Belzer will get hit in the first points of the game.
Now we've got a full court press here by Riverview. Looks like they're trying to trap the sides.
Excuse me, that's Micah Black who got that bucket. Apologies. Ziegler open for 3, almost banked it in, no good, but a long rebound corralled there by Schrei. An extra possession, Ziegler will take another one. Back iron, no good there. Follows his shot. He's going to get an extra possession. Lenhart, pass down low, blocked away. Howard came in there and blocked it away. Ben Howard, who just checked in. We approach the midway point of this first quarter. Baseline drive for Black. He's going to be double teamed there, but good find down low for the easy lay-in for McElliott.
Yeah, that's a great look there, you know, making that pass through contact.
McGillicuddy.
Getting a little bit sloppy with the basketball here. Got to get it over the timeline.
And I think they're going to get a timeout from the bench. Good call from Coach McQuiston before that 10-second violation happened. We'll have another Pontius Insurance timeout. Make sure you visit them online, pontiusinsurance.com. And love the life you live, worry-free. Mike, just like it was sloppy early for Riverview, last couple possessions for Shenango, especially against that press, not successful in executing in the backcourt.
Yeah, Riverview definitely put on the heat there, you know, after those made buckets. And, you know, Shenango's got to make sure they get in their set, you know, take the edge off a little bit, do what they practice, get the ball to the middle, get the ball up the floor. But they definitely don't want to get the ball to the sideline. It looks like that's where Riverview want to make their traps.
First 6 points for Shenango. 4 for McQuiston, 2 for Ziegler. Black and McGillicuddy able to respond. No fouls here in the early going either. Officials letting them play. As a player, did you like that when you were able to have a little bit more leniency out there on the court?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to utilize, whatever the refs are going to be able to call. If they're going to let you play a little bit, then you got to use that to your advantage. If they're going to be calling a tight game, you got to make sure that you're aware of that. You don't want to get any cheap fouls early.
Riverview now in a man-to-man. They're going to go high post. McQuiston almost gets it ripped away, able to get it back. Foul line jumper off the mark, no good. And rebound saved out of bounds once, but it will now be possession for Riverview as Peters tried to save it out of bounds. Brody McQuiston looking over and telling coach, telling dad, yeah, I got fouled. Officials didn't see it that way. Back to the 3-2 defensively. Riverview can tie or take the lead on this possession. Around the perimeter, getting to the foul line, skip pass to the corner. Bauer drives baseline, blocked from behind, got it right back, blocked again, and here comes McQuiston the other way. Going 1-on-2, pass across the lane, good hustle back from McGillicuddy to be able to knock it out of play. It'll stay with Shenango with 3:39 remaining in the first.
Those are the defensive effort plays that, they don't really show up on the stat book, but they really make a big difference. Didn't give up 2 points there. Let's see if Shenango can work it in here.
Lenhart down low, good find at the foul line, easy jumper in for Dalton Peters. Quickly coming the other way on the right wing. Trying to drive is Hauer, and he's going to be dispossessed. Preston Schreiber with possession, gets it up to Ziegler. Good find down low. McQuiston running the floor off the window and in.
And that's exactly what you want to do. You generate a turnover, you get the ball up the court, you punish them down low.
10-4, 3:10 remaining first quarter. Riverview, a couple players ready to check in. McGillicuddy kicks it back out. Miley drives in. He loses possession, almost stolen away, and there's going to be our first. No, it's going to be a turnover. It's going to be a foul. Thought they were getting a foul against Schrei on the reach-in, but instead it's turnover number 5 against Riverview. So Spray Car is going to re-enter the contest for Riverview. And also it looks like inside Jack Bettler, in for the first time tonight. Just under 3 to play in the opening quarter. Schrei with possession. He'll bring it back out. Call the play. To Lenhart between the circles. Looks for a backdoor cut. Finds McQuiston and another reverse lay-in.
Yeah, they set that up extremely well. Ran out to the three-point line with a hard backdoor cut. Wide open reverse layup.
That's exactly what you want to do it against the aggressive man-to-man defense we've seen from Riverview. And there's going to be another whistle and a traveling violation. But on the other end, when you see that in-your-face, high-pressure defense, you're exactly looking for those backdoor cuts, right?
Yeah, that's that situation where you don't want to fight the pressure. Take the pressure, play off of it, cut backdoor. That's what's going to be open, and that's exactly what Shenango did on that last play.
Gives him an 8-point advantage. McQuiston with 8 of his team's 12. Down to 2:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Schrei gets the screen from Peters. Now calls out the play. Right wing for Ziegler. Couple hard screens from Lenhart. They get it across to Schrei in the corner. Drives into the lane. Back to the foul line. Foul line jumper for McQuiston. Nothing but net.
Another nice set. Half-court set, bringing the ball up the floor, being patient, not forcing anything, hitting a wide-open shot.
And again, the officials letting him play. A couple hard screens there by Lenhart. Riverview coaching staff asking for moving screen, not getting it. Down to minute 40 remaining in the first. 10-point Shenango advantage. Driving in is Miley, back out, three-pointer on the way. Back iron, no good. Offensive rebound, though, for Spray Car. He corrals a miss from Hauer. 0 for 3 from downtown right now are the Raiders. Around the perimeter. Return pass from Miley. Well defense now by Shenango, still packing it in with that 3-2 zone. And we're going to have another turnover. Another steal from McQuiston. He'll go 1-on-2, and he's going to get the lay-in. Will it fall? No, it hangs on the rim and doesn't go. 7 first quarter Riverview turnovers. Down to a minute to play, and there's your first foul of the contest with 1:04 remaining. Now, as a player, you wanted it to be a little more loose like that. From the coaching aspect, would you like it to be a little more tightly called on the court than this?
It all depends what we're trying to do defensively. If you're running and jumping, you want that game to be able to play because you're trying to generate a lot of contact. You're up in the passing lanes. If you're back in a zone, you want some extra calls because you're not trying to generate that same kind of speed in the game.
Inside-out play, and Black's going to drive in off the window and get it good.
Yeah,
His
nice
second
touch
bucket.
off the glass. Some of the players looking as if there might have been an inadvertent whistle there by one of the referees.
I thought I heard one too, Mike. Peters tries to drive, thwarted there, but to the foul line it goes. McQuiston short on his shot. Rebound coming out from Magley. Quickly in transition, up ahead of the play with the right-handed layup is Bauer.
Now Riverview applying the pressure here. Shenango's got to make sure they get in their set. Got to get someone in the middle here.
Down to 30 seconds remaining. They do get Lenhart to the middle. He'll bring it across to Schride across the timeline. We'll see if the Cats hold for the last shot. Schride and Ziegler down to 15 on the clock. Being hounded there by Amberson Bauer. He'll bring it back out. We're down to 10. Gives it to Ziegler, left wing. Pumps, drives, little floater on the baseline, misses everything too strong. Outlet pass and is going to be out of bounds because of a foul in the backcourt. It's going to go against Peters with 5 seconds remaining.
Now 4.8 left on the clock. They've got McQuiston picking up the ball here. Applying a little bit of pressure, making them touch it so they don't let the clock run out.
They get it to the high post. Shot at the buzzer is going to be short, no good. And Ziegler actually picked up that second foul. Almost got a third trying to close out there. But it shot off the mark. And at the end of one quarter play, it's 14-8 Shenango over Riverview. We'll be back in a moment. You're home for Lawrence County Sports. LCSportsNet.com, powered by LCAT.
Wherever you're going, Axe can get you there. The bowling alley, beauty salon, and even the library. Axe can get you there safely. The grocery store, the pharmacy, and the bank. Axe can get you there comfortably. Going to work, visiting a friend, or just to relax at the park. Axe can get you there affordably. Axe is here to get you there safely, comfortably, and affordably. Choose Axe as your driving service and give us a call to schedule a ride.
In workers' compensation, my clients are oftentimes not receiving their wage loss. They're not receiving their medical expenses. LGKG, they come to us so that we can put them in a position to pay their bills. If we're keeping our promises, our clients are getting the justice they deserve.
Second quarter about to get underway. Shenango with a 14-8 lead, mostly thanks to Brody McQuiston. 10 of those 14 points for Shenango. Really successful with that mid-range game, but also just really nifty around the hoop, Mike.
Yeah, he's had a couple of really nice finishes. You know, finishing on the backside a couple of different times, using both the left and right hand. He's doing a nice job for Shenango. He's got to keep that up.
Ziegler on the bench with those 2 fouls. Braden D'Angelo in for the first time for Shenango. McQuiston again trying to do the work, going 1-on-2 off the window, no good. Fighting for the rebound and gets it over a pair of Raider defenders. Backs his way in again, little spinorama shot, no good. May have been partially blocked, and now ball out of bounds. Last touch by Peters.
Yeah, 2 difficult shots there. I'm not exactly sure that's what Coach McQuiston was looking for. Not very high percentage, but it definitely looks like he has the skill to be able to knock it down. Those ones just didn't fall.
We're talking about a kid who scored 60 points on one night in his first night of varsity action. Mike looks at me with wide eyes. It was 2 games last year. They played 2 games on the same night in the Neshannock tip-off tournament right before the statewide shutdown. So the Neshannock tournament had multiple games going in one night. He scored, I think it was 34 and 27 in those games.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
And it has a freshman, too. Nice drive into the lane, off the window and in for the bucket there. I believe that was Black again. He's got 6. Lead down to 4. Early second quarter. Try. Being guarded close in there by Black. Over to Lenhart, running the motion. Over to the right wing. Top of the key. D'Angelo for 3. Back iron, no good. Long rebound. I believe that's the first second three-pointer that was taken by Shenango in this game. Good jump stop into the lane. Short on the shot, though, that time from Micah Black. And 1 and done. Go the Raiders. You can see, though, Riverview wants to go in transition quickly down the court every time before that zone can get set up. D'Angelo's going to try another one. 3-pointer on the way, no good, and a whistle away from the basketball. I think this one's going to go against Riverview's Amberson Bauer.
Yeah, 2 nice looks from deep. Those are high percentage shots, open threes. Hopefully we'll be able to see one of them go in.
So now Ziegler with those 2 personals will check back in. Always tough philosophy. A scorer like him having to sit out with 2 fouls, when you put him in, when you get your minutes. He puts it right down underneath to McQuiston, blocked away from him, gets his own rebound, kicks it out for a Schrei 3-ball. Back iron, no good again. Neither team hitting it from downtown. Pass down low. Peters able to strip it away and get the steal.
Great hands.
He gets it with the poke and then goes coast to coast.
Yeah, great defensive effort by him right there.
Peters now with 4. Lead back up to 6. Under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Black. And he walked with the basketball. Unforced error there. He just caught the pass and took an extra step. He thought it was LeBron James for a minute. Not even sure Bronny gets away with that one. You know I had to poke at LeBron for you, Mike. 5:45 remaining, 6-point advantage for the Cats.
Trying to get the ball inside here. Good
Yeah,
defensive effort by Riverview.
Yeah, great job by Bettler. Really fighting down low with McQuiston. Goes to Peters at the foul line. He'll take the quick jumper, no good. McQuiston fighting for the offensive rebound, can't grab it. Here comes Howard the other way. It's knocked away from him into the Shenango bench. It will stay with Riverview. Not sure about the hands there from our scorekeeper down there for Shenango. Not too pleased. Mrs. Ray down there. Down to 5:20 remaining now. 6-point advantage for the Cats with playoff implications on the line. Knocked out of bounds and went off of the leg of Howard. So it'll be turnover number 10 here in the first half against Riverview.
Yeah, Riverview a little bit lackadaisical these last couple of possessions with the basketball. You know, it's a very valuable thing that they're just throwing to the other team.
Yeah, not going to win many games with 10 turnovers. Earlier game tonight, 35, I believe, was the final tally against New Brighton in their loss to the Lady Cats. Ziegler floater in the lane. High arcer, no good on the shot. McQuiston fighting for the rebound, but ends up knocking it into the hallway. Possession will stay, or go over, I should say, to Riverview. Down to 5 minutes remaining. Not a lot of scoring here in the second quarter.
Shenango falling back in that 3-2 zone, trying to slow Riverview and any penetration they may have into the paint.
Pass almost stolen away there by Ziegler. Gets it over to Howard. Pass to the high post. And
Another deflected pass.
Active hands defensively. Can't say it enough. And we have a kick ball out of bounds. But something that sounds easy, but keeping the hands up defensively just makes the zone defense so much more difficult. But it's really difficult to coach that, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, active hands is something that, you know, the players just have to decide. You know, it's something that they do. It takes effort. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do.
Back into the man-to-man defense is Riverview. Working the weave are the Cats. D'Angelo gets the pass for Schrei, trying to drive in, gets it out to McQuiston. He looks to drive, back out. Schrei passes on the 3, kicks it back out. Good ball movement, but good defense for Riverview. That gets the Raider fans to their feet, but that one's going to put the Cats fans back to their feet as McQuiston goes right down Broadway.
Yeah, you're going to have a difficult time if you're allowing him to dribble drive right from the top of the key and get all the way to the basket.
Yeah, really split a trio of Raider defenders. Pass down low, McElligott, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds, stolen away momentarily, but it's going to be a turnover right back, really, as Shenango couldn't maintain possession. 4 minutes remaining in the first half, 18-10, Shenango with the lead, 12 of the 18 for McQuiston.
And McQuiston looks like he needs a breather. He just checked out. Kyle Lenhart came into the basketball game.
Takes a seat next to assistant coach Brian Ches and gets a couple words. We'll expect to see him back in the contest shortly. Back iron no good on that 3-ball from Bettler.
Offensive rebound, another 3.
And off the mark again. So 0 of 5 now from downtown as that one was Bauer. Couldn't get it to go. Shenango will try to turn it to double digits here. Schrei goes right to the rack off the window, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up, and puts it in. First points of the night for Preston Schrei. Now Shenango doubling up Riverview. A little floater off the mark, no good. And a strong rebound for Schrei and Shenango. Gets it up to D'Angelo, right back to Schrei. The Peters, quick transition, trying to beat the defense down, partially blocked away, and now Riverview's going to look to go the other way and hurry. Drive in from Magley, right to the hoop, and it hangs on the rim. It doesn't want to go in. Team's struggling to buy a basket right now, Mike.
Yeah, they've had some really good opportunities. I mean, they've put themselves in a position where they've should have been able to put the ball in the hoop, but it just doesn't seem to fall right now.
Under 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. D'Angelo gets the weave over to Ziegler. Hands it back off to Schrei, being hounded there defensively by Bauer. Defenders realizing they can get away with a bunch, getting really handsy out there. It's going to lead to a turnover and a timeout called by Riverview with 2:41 remaining here in the first half.
Active hands by Anderson Bauer, doing a good job of trying to get his team and will his team back in here. Every possession is going to count.
Well, the way the free throw, or the way the foul totals look, not sure we're going to get any bonus free throws here in the first half. So give a shout out to the Red Zone Sports. Red Zone Sports Zone, score big at the Red Zone. Bonus free throws brought to you all year by the Red Zone. Stop by on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all of your county sporting apparel needs, embroidery, sporting goods, and more. TheRedZoneSports.com. Check them out on Facebook and score big at the Red Zone. Mike, let's talk about this zone defense, the 3-2 zone, and especially what the guy at the top of that zone defense is most responsible for doing. Right now it's been Preston Schrei the last few possessions working at the top of it, but what is his main responsibility as they works in that zone defense? And now it looks like it'll be Hunter Lively to take into that spot.
Well, they definitely want to stop any kind of dribble drive penetration, right? You don't want to let your guy get into the paint, and that's really what they're trying to do. And then right there, again, active hands, checks into the basketball game, and as soon as he does something good, does something positive, generates a steal.
And finds an open D'Angelo in the corner for three. No good on the shot, but Lively again, a couple of good setups there. Almost a turnover in the backcourt. Good job by Migley or actually check that Bauer to keep it from going out of bounds. Jack Loughran in for the first time now. He kills the dribble. Looks for an open player, finally finds one in the quarter for Black. Down to 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Working around the perimeter. Again, the active hand, Shenango making every pass difficult. To the short corner for Bettler. Skip pass out to Loughran. Extra one to the corner, three ball on the way. Back iron, no good. Good box outs by the Cats. Lenhart finally comes up with it. Up to Ziegler. He'll step into a right wing three and knock it down.
Yeah, and that's a great play right there by Ziegler. Had an outstanding box out. Wasn't the one who generated the rebound, but that ball could have bounced a couple of times on the ground before Shenango actually had to grab it if they needed to.
Impressive defensive play from Shenango. And again, it looks like they are peaking at the right time. Winners of two of their last three. Both coming in section play as well, keeping their playoff hopes alive. Floater into the lane, off the mark, no good. Long rebound, though, is going to be corralled by Amberson Bauer. Extra possession for Riverview, down to 1:10 remaining in the second. Loughran finds an open backdoor cut. Pump fake, up in the air, no good. But Black, due to the pump fake, is going to get the first free throw attempts for either team here tonight.
Yeah, that was a great backdoor look. They lost track into the backside corner. Cut to the hoop whenever he saw no one was paying attention to him. Had a good look at the hoop, got the free throws.
So free throws coming for Micah Black. First one on the way, short, no good. McQuiston will come back in. Lively, 3 very lively minutes out there. Goes back, has a seat. No good on the second either, but offensive rebound. Ripped away, though. Bettler stolen away by Peters, and then we're going to have a whistle and a foul after the fact. And it will be Shenango basketball, just under a minute to play on the possession arrow. Full court pressure, McQuiston able to get it in the backcourt. Quickly crosses the timeline. Wise is going to bring it back out and try to run some clock. Down to 45 seconds remaining. At this point, do you want to use all 45 seconds, Conglos, or are you going to go and try to, find a layup game if you can get it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the shot that Coach McQuiston's looking for, a 15-foot jumper.
Oh, they do get an open look off the offensive rebound. Ziegler, no good, and it hit the piping up above the backboard, so a turnover on the rebound over to Riverview, but you're right. You want a little higher percentage shot than that one, probably.
Yeah, I don't mind the open three-pointer. It's a wide open shot. Ziegler looks like he's a very good shooter. So, you want to knock down an open shot. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Ziegler hit 5 3-pointers in their non-section win against Laurel a couple of weeks ago. Was our Maley Chiropractic play of the game winner in that contest. Down to 15 seconds remaining. Black tries to drive baseline. Well defense there by Dalton Peters. He'll kick it back out to Bettler. Back out to Black. Down to 10 on the clock. Extra pass around the perimeter to Bauer. He'll take a 3-ball. Back iron no good. Peters rebounds. 4 seconds left. Does McQuiston see the clock? He does. He'll put it up from half court, and it's off the mark. No good. Halftime here from Bill McNeese Gymnasium. 23-10, holding Riverview to just 2 points in that second quarter. We'll take a break, come back, and recap the first half when we return. You're home for Lawrence County Sports. LCSportsNet.com, powered by LCAP.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between, let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Cold winds blowing, temperatures dropping, and snow is beginning to fall. And then your furnace goes out. LCAP's LIHEAP Crisis Program is here to help. If your furnace is blowing cold air, not turning on, or not reaching the desired temperature, help is right around the corner, whether it needs fixed or replaced. For information, call the Department of Healthy Homes at 724-656-0090. LCAP's Healthy Home programs are the key to safer living.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Shenango for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods, custom apparel to embroidery and more, Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Wherever you're going, Axe can get you there. The bowling alley, beauty salon, and even the library. Axe can get you there safely. The grocery store, the pharmacy, and the bank. Axe can get you there comfortably. Going to work, visiting a friend, or just to relax at the park. Axe can get you there affordably. Axe is here to get you there safely, comfortably, and affordably. Choose Axe as your driving service and give us a call to schedule a ride.
When a team needs to discuss their next move in a big game, coach calls a timeout. When you need to discuss your next move after your latest life endeavor, let Ponce's Insurance be your coach. At Ponce's Insurance, how we serve you is as important as the insurance we provide. Protecting those you love, the business you built, and the things you've earned. That's our job. At Ponce's Insurance online at poncesinsurance.com.
Whether you're hosting a big party, it's family dinner night, or you just need a place to go and watch the big game, the Crane Room Grill is the place to be. Need that something special for your upcoming event? Ask about the CR Brewing Company's custom brewing options to give your big day that personalized touch that your guests will never forget. Visit craneroom.com to see their full menu, or call in your takeout order now at 724-656-1553. The Crane Room Grill and CR Brewing Company, a winning combination.
Has your child's early education slowed down or even paused due to the pandemic? This is crucial time you can't get back. LCAP can keep your little learner on track for success. We have options for working and non-working parents with in-person childcare and age-appropriate virtual learning to keep them busy and engaged. Parents, don't hit pause on early learning. Lawrence County Community Action Partnership can jumpstart their future. Learn more at lcap.org.
Halftime here from Bill McNeese Gymnasium, and Shenango flexing the defensive muscles in that first half to the tune of a 23-10 scoreline, only allowing 2 points in that second quarter and forcing unofficially 11 turnovers. in the first half. Mike, I mean, you can't ask for much of a better defensive performance in 16 minutes of basketball than what Shenango just put out there.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a 13-point difference here. And, when we're talking about, what has generated that difference, we don't really have a whole lot as far as the rebounding battle. Things are pretty even. We don't have a whole lot of free throws here shot during this game. So what is the difference maker? And it really has been the turnovers within this basketball game that's made such a difference. And Shenango, active hands, active feet. They've jumped to the passing lane a ton of different times, and they've generated those easy buckets off of turnovers.
And really with that, too, another obviously big helpful hand is the fact you got Bergen Aquiston, who's got 12 points. Really controlling on the inside, 12 points, 6 field goals made, and in all varieties. The mid-range jumper really nice, and a soft touch around the rim as well. He's been impressive to watch.
Yeah, he's gone to the hoop a bunch of different times. Riverview's going to have to figure out something to try and slow him down a little bit. He's definitely generated a lot of the offense for Shenango this evening.
He's got 12, 5 for Ziegler, 4 for Peters, 2 for Schrei, the extent of the scoring for Shenango. On the other side, 6 for Micah Black, 2 for McElligott, and 2 for Amberson Bauer. Leads to your 23-10 scoreline here at the halftime break. Again, let's take a look at the section standings. Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, 10,000 straight wins it feels like now. I think they're in the upper 50s officially. Whatever it is, it's the longest in the state and one of the longest in state history now with that 6-0 in section, 15-0 overall. Springdale and Southside at 4-3 in section play. Shenango just a game behind at 3-4. Riverview at 2-5, and then Swickley Academy rounding it out at 1-5. If you look at the full standings across all 4 classifications, remember 16 teams guaranteed to make the playoffs with the current format. So you got a full 16-team field, maybe a couple of play-in games. But you look at section champions, or section leaders, I should say, right now. Olsh at 6-0, Carlinton in section 2 at 7-0, Fort Cherry just a game behind at 6-1. Greensburg Central Catholic still perfect at 7-0. And Monessen, how about them? Back to their winning ways, 8-0 in Section 4. It's going to be really difficult. Well, I think obviously Olsh has to be the number 1 seed. But, Mike, when you look at the rest of these teams, how can you really distinguish at any point with any of these teams when you have section champions all looking to potentially be undefeated? Do you go by strength of section at that point, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit difficult. I'm glad I'm not on the selection committee to have to make those difficult decisions. I'm sure they're going to have their own justification, standards, but you definitely have to look at the teams that they're playing, the strength of the schedule, who they chose for their non-section games, and I'm sure all of that will play into, the seedings once that comes to.
It's been fun to see a lot of those all those section options and non-section options, really, as we get a score update from Lee Moe. We'll get to that here in 1 second. Thank you, Lee. That in the Lawrence County area especially, I mean, you saw Shenango play against Laurel. That's 2A versus 3A. You saw Union playing against 3A opponents in Neshannock and Elwood City throughout the course of the year. It's a lot of fun, too. I mean, you play against all these kids all the way up through. Everybody knows them. You know everybody. Good friends with a lot of them, especially with the social media nowadays. It's just a lot of fun, even in non-section action, to see these local teams going at it during the non-section and section games throughout the year.
Yeah, definitely. And when we talked about the fan section earlier, before the game started, having one side is obviously exciting. It's good for those student athletes. When you have 2 fan sections going at one another, friendly cheer each other, especially when they know each other, it definitely just heightens the intensity. It makes the overall game atmosphere so much more exciting for the fans, the students, and obviously the players as well.
So you're saying you got nothing but friendly jeers during your time as a high school player?
Hey, they were all in good fun. It was always good fun.
Well, how about good fun just down the way in the land of the Scotties? Union Lady Scots have now clinched with a win tonight. They've clinched at least a share of the section title for the first time in a long time. They had to go back and look, maybe the first time ever, and they've also got the first winning season in over a decade. Ranked number 1 in the state. They got a big game later this week. You'll see it with our friends on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. That game against Rochester to try to get outright section championships. But just look around the county. Elwood City, defending WPIAL champions, they're still undefeated in section play. Neshannock, a tough team in that section as well. Laurel with all new starters, they're giving a battle each and every day out. On the girls' side, you got Neshannock doing what they're doing. We saw the Shenango girls team earlier. Union, both boys and girls having great seasons. It's a fun time right now in Lawrence County basketball, trying to keep the momentum they built up from last year. It's really fun to have this around here, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, you play your regular season to get into the postseason. And, once you get into the postseason, anything can happen. And that's when it really becomes exciting.
While we have a moment, I want to give a special thanks to everybody here at Shenango High School, Jan Budai, Andy Bruno and company, always helping us out, getting everything set up. And, Bob Benson and company over at the scorers table. Give a shout out to our LC SportsNet crew. Lee Moe working his time on the camera. He's been shunned. He's been put in the doghouse over there. Also on cameras, Rachel Bowen running the scoreboard and graphics tonight. Mr. Robbie Nattel. Mike Conglos, we thank him for coming and joining us here tonight. His first time on the mic, which means we really have to thank Brandy for allowing him out of the house. We'll see if that ever happens again.
Yeah, hopefully she's listening, and I'll get that freebie another time here down the road.
Hopefully. There's a big one tomorrow. You wouldn't have any interest in a Neshannock against Laurel matchup now, would you?
I'm not going to make any promises on air, but I'll have to let you know here at a later date, a later time.
Later time, teams have switched sides. We'll see if that defense picks up. If you were Coach McGivney in the locker room for Riverview, what are you telling your team in terms of how to attack this strong 3-2 defense that Shenango's been putting out there?
Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to take care of the basketball. You've got to make good passes. You've got to get the ball to the middle of the paint. And, hopefully, you got to count on your players to knock down a couple of these shots that they've had.
That's a good way to start it. Go right to the hoop against a little bit of pressure. Nate Spraycar gets his first bucket. So it took about 10 seconds to get as many points in the quarter as Riverview had the entire second quarter.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to start. As a coach, you take a little bit of the edge off here. Your players, they need to gain that confidence. They need to calm down. They know they can put the ball in the hoop. That's how you want to start the game.
Yeah, confidence just to see one fall in. Peters can't get his to fall. Spraycar gets the rebound. Good spin move to get around traffic. McGilligan drives in. Good job, Preston Schrei coming back to poke that one away.
Another defensive stop based on active hands.
12 turnovers forced now by Shenango. Peters left alone at the foul line. Rattles it home.
Yeah, wide open, high percentage shot. Good bucket.
He's got 3 field goals. I believe they've all been of that variety. And now you got McQuiston at the top of the zone, so you have a 6'4" long arms to have to deal with at the top of the 3-2 zone defense. Also impressive, Shenango is doing everything, mixing it up who's at the top of that zone. Traveling violation called as Riverview thought they hit their first 3-pointer, but Blacks stepped into it. Took too many steps.
Yeah, definitely stepped into that shot with a couple of extra steps. Unfortunate because that was the first one that would have dropped down for them.
0 of 8 in the first half, as Mike just alluded to. Were the Raiders from beyond the arc in that first half. Peters hands it off to Schrei. Looks backdoor, well defense there as Ziegler was trying to get away from Bauer. Schrei will bring it back out now, works the weave, gets it to McQuiston. May have gotten away with a double dribble, keeps it going though, now hesitates, drives in, spin move into the lane, spins back over the right shoulder, missed everything. Ziegler, the smallest guy in the court, able to get the rebound, and McQuiston is going to call timeout from the bench. Another Pontius Insurance timeout to be called by Shenango. Again, thanks to our friends at Pontius Insurance. Visit them online at pontiusinsurance.com, putting attention to the things you own so you can devote your attention to the things you love. So 2 timeouts now taken by each team. We're going to blame Lee for that camera shot. 25-12, Shenango again will have possession.
Really coming out in a box set.
As you see very often. How many plays did you have out of a box set, Mike, as Peters takes his shot short, no good? How many plays did you have inbounds out of a box set like that?
As a player, we had a lot. As a coach, we also had a lot.
So many different things you can do out of it, and coming in transition the other way and being awarded with a pair of free throws. will be Micah Bauer. He took the only 2 free throws for either team in that first half. And Mike, if you're a coach for either team, you have to be saying the same thing. Let's get to the foul line here.
Yeah, you want to talk about getting the ball in the hoop. You want to slow the game down. You want to get your confidence, take some of the edge off. Getting to the free throw line is the right way to do it. You just got to make sure you knock down these shots once you get there.
Unofficially, that's only the 6th foul total in the game by my count here.
Yeah, these refs are letting the kids play.
Both free throws no good, rattling in and out. So 0 of 4 is Black from the line. That's one thing to get to the line. You still have to convert once there.
Yeah, those are free points, and right now in a close battle, trying to come back here a little bit and close this gap, those 4 points matter.
How about Peters flying in for the rebound? Puts it back up, no good, and right as we say it, now Dalton Peters will go to the line to take his first free throw attempts of the game and put any attempts for Shenango as a team.
Yeah, that's a great individual effort. I mean, just, outworking Riverview by himself, jumping up, getting that rebound, being strong with the basketball, ripping it around a little bit before trying to put it back in the hoop and ultimately getting to the free throw line.
One of the seniors in this starting lineup for Shenango, and he makes the first freebie.
That's our first made free throw of the basketball game.
That's incredible. It takes 5:49 remaining before Shenango even gets to the line. Second one on the way, splashes home as well.
2 for 2, no question about it. Now Riverview looking to run the floor.
Good defensive effort, hustling back is Schride and knocking into the Riverview bench, but that's a designed play coming out of a made free throw, right, Mike?
Yep, looking right to get it up to the sideline, get it up to the corner. Shenango did an outstanding job making sure they stopped that penetration.
Bauer gets the spray cart, the high post, into the corner. Hauer for 3, and there's the first made three-pointer after missing the first 9 of the game for Riverview.
Hey, we'll see if, that can translate into a couple other buckets. Maybe they can generate a couple of turnovers. That was a good-looking shot right there.
And the pressure, tough to handle for Shenango. They need to get it across the timeline. Schrei running out of time, and he doesn't get there. 10-second backcourt violation called against the Wildcats.
Yeah, Coach McQuiston not real happy about that. Got to make sure you keep your eyes up the floor. Played a little bit of catch right underneath the basketball hoop, and that's not a good place to have the basketball.
First year with Riverview, trying to get his team psyched up after that good defensive effort. Former coach for 4 or 5 years at Keystone Oaks. Now able to coach closer to home. Said it's a 22-minute walk, 12-minute bike ride, or a 4-minute ride in the car. Another three-pointer, and when it rains, it pours. Emerson Bauer getting in the act. Just like that, we're back to single digits. Peters in the backcourt, able to get it to Schrei across the timeline, over to Lenhart. Works his way down low, and he travels.
We've got 2 turnovers for Shenango, followed by 2 three-pointers by Riverview, and that's the exact turnaround that they needed to get themselves back into this basketball game.
27-18, down to 5 minutes remaining in quarter number 3.
And even though Shenango had generated that lead in the first half, never really felt like it was going to be out of reach for Riverview. They were a couple missed shots away from, keeping that game a lot closer in the first half.
After the turnover here, Shenango will inbound with D'Angelo as Lenhart takes a seat. Sometimes that's all it takes. You see 1 or 2 shots go in, it's contagious.
Yes, it is, and so is, some missed shots. That is also contagious.
Quiston hoping that his efforts start to be contagious. He's now got 14 after that drive to the hoop.
Yeah, and that's a great finish, scooping it up through contact. That's a strong take to the hoop.
4:30 remaining here in the third, 11-point advantage for the Cats. Kicking it back out with possession McElligott. To Hauer in the corner, in and out, no good. If that one had fallen, would have said, where was that the whole first half? McQuiston coming the other way. He gets the return pass in the middle. Good effort coming back by Spraycard and knocking away. Here comes a 3-on-2. Good bounce pass. Bauer off the window and in.
Oh, that's a great finish. On the right side, avoided the block, went up with the left hand just to make sure he could finish it through some contact. It's a great take.
And an and one the other way, as Dalton Peters says, I got that and a little bit more. Looked like a little fake pass across the lane there too, Mike, leading to the and one.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to do. You give up a bucket on the other end. You don't drop your head. You don't drop your shoulders. You get back up the floor, coast to coast, and that's a great finish through contact.
He gets the and one, lead back up to double digits midway through this third quarter. Can't get the free throw to go. McQuiston gets it back. It's blocked out of bounds. Possession will stay with the Cats. Offensive rebounds Pretty even in the first half rebounding-wise, but feels like Shenango is starting to get the upper edge here in the third. Quiston off the inbounds, off the window, can't get it to go. Tried to put back, no good. Make it a third effort, and he'll be rewarded at the free throw line rebounding. It's positioning, and then it's effort. And right now, both of those going in favor of Shenango, right, Mike?
Yeah, whenever you give up second and third chance opportunities, you're going to struggle. You get yourself out of position, just like you said, and the extra effort, by McQuiston was just, it was just exactly what you're looking for from your players.
And he gets his first trip to the line tonight, puts it in with a swish. He's got 15. Again, this battle for currently fourth place, but could move Shenango potentially all the way up to second with just 2 section games remaining. Second free throw on the way and misses.
And every section game matters. And, obviously you could tell that this one mattered to Shenango. They came out, ready to play, active hands. And Riverview, it definitely has taken them a little bit of time to get adjusted to the flow of this basketball game.
Dalton Peters with another great play defensively with those active hands, and he'll get the shot from the foul line. A little short there, hang on to it.
Yeah, almost got the offensive rebound from his own shot.
Coming the other way, Bauer will step into a 3. The lefty off the mark, no good. Ziegler gets the rebound. Looks like Bauer may have taken one to the face there. He was trying to strap in for the rebound. Schrei works the weave over the McQuiston. Backdoor cut, Ziegler's going to go in against the trees, pass it off to Peters. Good find for 2.
Yeah, that's a great look. Could have tried a floater, would have been a high difficult shot there. Instead, made the good pass, got an easy bucket.
Especially with the 6'5" McElligott to have to float it over. Just like that, lead back up to 14. Migley into the lane, draws and dishes. Another 3-ball on the way. Splashdown, second of the quarter for Howard. Back into the full court pressure now as a result. McQuiston's going to go right around 1, right around 2. Kicks it to the corner. 3-ball on the way for D'Angelo. No good. Another offensive rebound. McQuiston tries to back his way in, and he's going to get an easy lay-in.
Yeah, that's a great job. Deep side corner, rebound on the backside.
Another corner 3-pointer, and it goes about 5 times around the dish before falling for Anderson Bauer.
We like to say that's an all-around good shot there, James.
I like that. I'm going to have to steal that one. All-around good shot. His second 3-pointer. He's in double figures, is Bauer, but then a foul on the other end will send McQuiston back to the free throw line yet again. That foul went against Ben Howard. His second, team's 4th. And McQuiston, 1 of 2 from the line. He's got a game-high 17 points.
And really doing it all for Shenango right now. He's helping bringing the basketball up the court, running coast to coast. He's at the top of the paint, on their 3-2 defense, getting the rebounds with the offensive putbacks. He's really all over and affecting this game in multiple facets of the game.
Gets the second free throw to go as well. Can't tell he's a coach's son, can you, the way he does a little bit of everything, right, Mike?
Yeah, he definitely does a little bit of everything, and I know his coach, he appreciates it.
Coach McQuiston now in his 16th season, and that was after 10 years as an assistant under Bill McNeese, now coaching at Bill McNeese Gymnasium at his alma mater. Pump, drive off the window and in. Nice play from Migley for his first bucket of the game. Migley's first basket. Lead down to 10. With the weave, Tyler Morosky, the senior, in for the first time now. Baseline drive for Peters. Good find under the hoop for Lenhart's first basket.
Yeah, soft hands right there. That's a highly difficult pass. A lot of congestion, a lot of active hands. Lenhart did a good job keeping it under control, putting it up into the hoop.
Yeah, Lenhart not the biggest scorer on the team. Maybe the biggest body on the team. Does a lot of the little things, though. Now working the baseline of the zone defensively. Power trying to work it around the perimeter. Splitting in there was Migley. Double teamed, able to get the pass off to McElligott. Pass back out. It's going to be deflected and stolen away by Ziegler. Ziegler takes a look behind and decides to bring it back out, look for some help. Morosky, good find to Peters. Senior to senior, down low, drop step, no good on the shot. McElligott gets the rebound, and look at Peters, right back up, no good with the shot. Peters, he's done that 4 or 5 times tonight. The senior playing like he doesn't want this season to end.
Yeah, it's those extra effort plays You know, they're not going to show up in the newspaper. They're not going to be in the stats. But it's the stuff that, you know, really makes a difference. When they're watching film tomorrow or in a couple of days, that's going to be a highlight that if I'm the coach, I definitely want to make sure I show all the other players.
2 more free throws on the way, and you can tell that one didn't quite look right out of the hand.
Yeah, maybe a little bit gassed, and I wouldn't blame him. He's doing a lot for his team right now. Got to make sure he gets his legs in this next shot.
Senior Christian McDowell in for the first time now for Riverview. Second free throw short, no good. Then Lenhart's going to fight for the rebound. Kicks it out. Peters drives in. Again, dishes off to Lenhart. Partially blocked. No, gets it back again. No good. Still fighting in there. It is a rugby scrum in there. And it is Lenhart's world. We're all just living in it. He'll get 2 more free throws now. They're going to say that's a foul on the floor, so no shots with less than a minute to play in this third quarter. It is the 16th foul against Riverview, so the bonus coming on the next foul against the Raiders. Ziegler, there is the next foul as he's hit on the 3 ball by McDowell, so he checks in and makes 2 quick personals. Ziegler's going to get 3 from the line.
And I know, you know, from the referee standpoint, that's one of their points of emphasis. You've got to make sure when a kid goes up to shoot a three-pointer, you allow them to land. So they need that space to be able to straight down. And it looked like that that did not happen, which is why we've got Ziegler shooting free throws.
And Shenango has entered the bonus. Your bonus free throws tonight brought to you by the Red Zone. Stop by on Wilmington Road in Neshannock Township for all your county sporting apparel needs. Custom apparel, embroidery, sporting goods, and more. And spirit sales through the Red Zone, a great way for your organization to make money. $4,000 last month alone from organizations across the county in terms of fundraising money that they have made through the Red Zone. Give them a call, 724-654-6065, and see how you can score big at the Red Zone. 1 of 3 from the line. Ziegler able to at least put 1 in from the charity stripe. Back to a 13-point advantage, 35 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Black to Migley, now into the corner for Hauer. They work it back out on the perimeter, trying to drive against the 3-2. Tough time doing so. Hauer back out to Migley around the corner. Black tries to get into the lane. Pump, pass down low, McDowell off the window and in.
Yeah, and that's a great look right there. You know, got double teamed, brought it into the paint, defense collapsed, found the open man.
Down to 5 seconds remaining. Handoff into the corner. Losing it was Morosky. Deflected pass. They get it to Peters. Can he get a shot off in time? He does with the scoop, but it's off the mark. No good. Shenango will hold a double-digit advantage, though, at the end of 3 quarters. 20 points on the board, though, for Riverview. We got a contest here from Bill McNeese Gymnasium. Back in a moment. Your voice for Lawrence County Sports. LCSportsNet.com, powered by LCAP.
Has your child's early education slowed down or even paused due to the pandemic? This is crucial time you can't get back. LCAP can keep your little learner on track for success. We have options for working and non-working parents with in-person childcare and age-appropriate virtual learning to keep them busy and engaged. Parents, don't hit pause on early learning. Lawrence County Community Action Partnership can jumpstart their future at lcap.org.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity is really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
8 minutes on the clock as we get ready for the 4th quarter of play. Riverview only 10 points in the first half, 20 in that third quarter alone. What was the difference in that third quarter, Mike, that leads to double the scoring they had in the entire first 16 minutes?
Well, you know, they generated a couple of turnovers. Those turnovers led to transition buckets, you know, those easy opportunities to get the ball in the hoop. And then really the big thing is the same open looks they had in the first half that they missed, they knocked those shots down. And I believe they had 4 3-pointers, which helped lead to that 20-point effort in the third quarter.
2 from Bauer, 2 from Hauer, and then they get a good defensive stop to start the 4th quarter. A turnover as it went off the leg of Peters. So a good start here for Coach McGivney and his Raiders. Just imagine, Mike, if they had hit a couple shots in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the game is close. You know, we've got an 11-point deficit for Riverview. they knock a couple of those shots down, and things are a lot tighter.
And a nice baseline drive, pump and score. Micah Black's first points of the second half. He's now got 8.
Yeah, first time we've had it down to single digits here, in the game for a while.
And McQuiston says, now I'll take care of that.
Yeah, just willing it to the hoop, doing it all himself, and the defense just has no response.
Got him now with 20 points on the night for McQuiston. To the left wing, Migley made away with some steps, no good on the shot, long rebound for McQuiston. And he's going to try to go in transition 1-on-3 and gets it done. Timeout called, full timeout called by Shenango, another Pontius Insurance timeout here on lcsportsnet.com and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We mentioned earlier, Mike, Coach McQuiston, 16 years, Shenango graduate from back in 1989. You're talking about 2 head coaches in the last 41 years for Shenango basketball. That's some serious longevity here in the Wildcats basketball program. First Coach McNeese for 25 years, and then McQuiston now for the last 16. That's impressive.
Yeah, they definitely want to keep it in-house. You obviously are doing something right with the program when you have that kind of support. You have that kind of longevity. So obviously doing something right. Players respond well. I know from being a player as well as coaching against Coach McQuiston, he does a lot of things well.
And how about Coach Ricky LaRocco, somebody near and dear to our hearts from over the years, assistant here at Shenango for a while, now takes over the girls program, has a very successful first season as head coach for the Lady Cats.
Yeah, very recognizable name. Was our junior varsity basketball coach when we were going up through the system over in Neshannock.
He was there for quite 12, 13 years at least.
He was there for quite some time.
And he's got a WPIAL ring as a player back in '87 for the Lancers, trying to bring that same mentality now to the Shenango girls program. They got a big win earlier tonight, 58-24, to secure their playoff bid. Baseline jumper off the mark, no good, and a whistle and a foul on the rebound. McGilligan, I think, is going to get called for the personal as Lenhart went flying to the ground. I'd say no, I'm take that back. I think they're going to get that the other way. They're going to say Lenhart tripped them up.
Yeah, a lot of contact there. I'm not exactly sure what the refs were seeing. I saw it a little bit different up here, but that's obviously why I'm not wearing a striped uniform.
Yeah,
either.
They're a lot closer than we are, for sure. Three-pointer off the inbounds pass, in and out, no good for Bauer, but an offensive rebound. Micah Black, second player in double figures for Riverview. He's got 10.
If Riverview wants to get back in this basketball game, they're going to need a couple more of those kinds of plays.
And then a turnover, and they went off McQuiston's leg last. Can't dribble into a triple team, says the elder McQuiston.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is turn your head and dribble over to the sideline. That's where the trap wants to take place. Ball into the middle.
On the wing, Black drives in with a jump stop. Off the window, no good. Gets his own rebound, and it's going to be ripped away with a foul by Lenhart. Back-to-back personals against the 6'4" junior. Micah Black has had a great game, 10 points, all on two-pointers tonight. This has been the one spot where he has struggled, though. And as soon as I say that, he makes his first freebie. Had missed 4 in the first half. He checks out, does McGilligan, and Bettler will check. 6:18 remaining.
And we'll see if this ball goes through the hoop, what kind of pressure Riverview is going to apply on Shenango's offense.
Oh, but it just rattles in and out.
And that just seems how it's kind of gone for Riverview tonight. The ball's been halfway down. It just is having a difficult time finishing through.
Yeah, again, you hit a couple more of those in the first half, of the three-pointers especially. 0 for 8 in the first half, made 4 in the third quarter alone. You make a couple more, this is a completely different game right now. Instead, Shenango holding on to the 10-point advantage. Lenhart back to Schrei. Work it down low to Peters. Back to Lenhart, into the corner. Schrei passes on the 3, steps inside the arc, 15-footer, no good. Long rebound transition out coming for Riverview. Good poke by Schrei to make it a more difficult shot, and Black then misses everything. Now McQuiston's going to come the other way, and he's going to get hit with the charge. Out of control, waiting for it was Migley.
Yeah, tried to do a sidestep there to avoid the contact. Migley did a great job holding his ground, being in the right position. Got the charge call. That's a big play for them.
2 turnovers. Fouls now at 7-4. 7 for Riverview, 6 for Shenango. Open look in the corner. Bauer left alone but can't get it to go. And Lenhart gets the rebound. Looked like just waiting there for it with spray car, but he couldn't corral it. Bauer's had a couple of open looks. Now 2 of 7 from downtown unofficially. Shenango's going to try to go 4 corners here. They get it baseline. Quick jumper taken. In and out, no good for Peters. Lenhart again fighting for it. On the ground, McQuiston, the mic and drill up and in.
Yeah, one of those 50-50 balls, and unfortunately just not going Riverview's way at this point in the game.
Fortunately for Shenango, as they are outworking on the boards for sure tonight. McElligott trying to keep his team alive. His second basket tonight. Tough time for McQuiston in the backcourt. He's going to get through a couple, maybe a trio of defenders. Pass down to Lenhart is going to be stolen away, poked away by Bauer. Coming the other way, McElligott tries to go with the bounce pass, and then flying out of bounds, knocked out of bounds last touched by Shenango as Schrei was going in there with Micah Black. Bodies flying everywhere. Can't question the effort for either of these teams tonight, Mike.
Yeah, we've got 4:26 left, a 10-point game, and it's going to come down to the wire. I think this game is going to finish, within a couple of points here.
Shenango in the bonus. Free throws could play clutch down the stretch, too. Three-pointer off the mark for Bauer on that one. Rebound McQuiston. He'll hand it to Schrei. Across the timeline, now 4:10 remaining. Shenango content to run some clock here, you would think. Riverview going to hound them defensively. They sent a double team, and they're face guarding against McQuiston right now, too. Kick out, Schrei open for 3. Back iron, no good. Good looks. They're just not falling from downtown. Going coast to coast the other way. Schrei blocks it away off the attempt from Migley. Peters will get it back out to Schrei. We're down to 3:40 remaining.
Yeah, we're in a man-to-man defense, but we're face guarding McQuiston right now, so we're not applying any help off of McQuiston defensively.
They've thrown a couple double teams at it too, which makes it really tough when you don't have everybody in help. But right now, because of that, they're just putting McQuiston in the corner and letting the other 4 play a little motion offense. Lenhart back out to Ziegler. We've already taken 30 seconds off this possession. Schrei finds an open lane to the hoop. No good. McQuiston, though, sneaks in there. He's now got 26 on the night.
Yeah, defensively that's tough. They wear you down. They make all of those passes. You get them to miss a layup, but you give up the offensive rebound to none other than McQuiston. 26 points, like you said, doing it all for his team right now, James.
McElligott, though, another big basket to cut the lead back down to 10, and another Pontius Insurance timeout called by Riverview. Trailing by 10, 49-39. You know the pressure is going to be put on here, Mike. In the Shenango huddle, what is it you're saying to get your team ready for it, or what can you draw up maybe, or what can you remind them maybe more effectively in terms of how to break this press efficiently?
Well, I think a couple of things. Don't get the basketball to the sideline. Get the basketball to the middle. Keep your eyes up, and do it through passing. It's difficult to try to dribble through those double teams, those traps. You make the passes. That's when you generate the quick offense, and you can have transition basketball turn into really easy, wide open layups if you make the correct pass at the right time.
Call ahead and reserve your seat for after the game at the Crane Room Grill, just a few minutes up the road on Wilmington Road in Neshannock. Or you can place an order for curbside pickup or takeout. Dinner, homemade desserts, how about a crowler to go? Place your order at 724-656-1553 or visit craneroom.com to see their full menu. And mind you, coming up after the game, our Tri-County Principals post-game show will break down the night's contest, give a final look at the scores, and give out our LCAP Player of the Game and our Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game awards. That's after the game, the Tri-County Principals post-game show right here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Full court pressure, face guarding all around for Shenango, or for Riverview. Shenango able to get it inbounded to Lively. Across the timeline, tries a bounce pass underneath, and a good hands by Ben Howard to knock it away.
Yeah, at that point, probably would have been a better decision to pull that basketball out, get in your set offense, run a little bit of time off that clock. Instead, we've got a turnover.
And going the other way, right to the hoop, but blocked away. I believe McQuiston got his hands on that one as Black thought he had a lane, but it closed quickly. McQuiston now gets the pass across the timeline, gets into the lane. They'll bring it back out. And we're going to see Schrei try to set up the offense. So check that, it's Hunter Lively now, and there's going to be the whistle and the foul, and Riverview is going to be content to try to turn this into a free throw shooting contest with 2:18 remaining. 1-and-1 free throws coming for the 5'9" junior. No points on the evening. So 2:18 remaining, and they're going for the intentional fouls, Mike. Interesting to go for it that early.
Yeah, it definitely is a little bit early, but you know what? Right now, you're just trying to generate a little bit of offense through your defense. It worked on this possession. We've got the front end of the one-on-one free throw, and this is a huge possession. 2:16 left in this basketball game. You're down 10 points. You really need to put the ball in the hoop on this play.
Lively out, Schrei back in for Shenango. Peters will be at the top of the zone. Nope, they're going to flip-flop and put Schrei in there. And it looks actually a 2-3 zone now as Shenango's mixing it up. Deflected pass, Hauer able to get it back, gets into the corner. Pass down low to Bettler, kicks it back out to Black. Got away with steps maybe, gets into the lane, little floater, can't get it to go. Ball volleyballed around, skying for it. We'll have a held ball between Black and Peters. It'll stay with Riverview. We'll talk real quick, Mike, about switching between that 3-2 and 2-3. It feels like it shouldn't do that much, but it really does in terms of the offensive mindset.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to try and, give the offense a different look, right? You want to make them have to think when they come down the court, taking a couple of extra seconds to have to set up their offense, get in their heads a little bit. Basketball is just as much a mind game as it is a physical game.
Left wing three ball on the way. Third one knocked down by Amberson Bauer.
That's a big shot right there. We've got a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Riverview has never led in this game, but they've been chipping away, trailed by as many as 14. And Schrei almost pickpocketed midcourt, and then we're going to have the foul as getting him on the arm was Bauer.
Yeah, probably could have called it on the first one.
Definitely on the second one.
Had no option on the second one.
But more bonus free throws coming up, and it'll be Preston Schrei with his first trip to the line.
Right before this first free throw, you had Coach McQuiston making sure his players knew which, basketball players for Riverview were their primary shooters, making sure they get a hand in to contest any open looks.
And that's all from film. Obviously they've played each other earlier in the years. We have another timeout called by Shenango. But that's all on film study, right, in knowing all the tendencies that these teams are going to face throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, going into this game, they know who's knocked down most of their shots for them. They know if they're left-handed, right-handed, who you need to really make sure that you get out and contest any three-point opportunity. All of that stuff is going to be known prior to the game.
I give a little shout-out to some of the scout team players that have to run the other team's sets week in, week out, learning 4 or 5 new plays every week, right?
Yeah, you talk about things that don't show up in the stat book. And it's those key practices that you have during the week, prior to leading up to a basketball game, where that scout team is helping to set up, the starters and make sure that they are ready and prepared. And, knowing all of those plays, getting all of that skill work in is extremely important to every, basketball team.
That's Mike Congos. I'm James Dotson. Glad to join you here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Shenango with the advantage, 1:33 remaining, though the lead down to 8. Again, remember, coming up after the game, we'll announce our Maley Chiropractic play of the game. All high school student athletes during your sports season, just $25 for a visit to their office. That includes an adjustment and all therapies necessary. You can see full details at MaleyChiropractic.com. That's M-A-H-L-E chiropractic.com. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. And if you haven't checked them out on Facebook, please do so. Dr. Bowser, Dr. Argero, Dr. Maley, all posting some cool videos to help keep you in the game between visits as well. Some cool stretches and cool little adjustments you can make so your back doesn't hurt after all that shoveling of the snow the last couple of days. I know Mike's getting ready for his next appointment down at Maley Chiropractic.
I don't know about you, James, but I'm starting to feel my age, and that snow definitely didn't help.
After both free throws good, drive down the baseline, no good for Riverview. That was Black on the attempt. McQuiston will give it over to Schrei, and they'll cross the timeline down to 1:10 remaining. Ziegler in the corner, contested there by Migley, gets away from him. Schrei now working back and forth. He's trying to waste some time. Lenhart over to Ziegler. Good ball movement here, but then losing it was McQuiston. That could be costly. It's a 9-point advantage. Make it down to 7 as going coast to coast and coming down awkwardly. The knee did not go the right way for Amberson Bauer. He's hurt after putting in that basket.
Yeah, after a really nice finish, that looked like some extra contact. He's down on the floor. Hopefully he's okay here, James.
The training staff's going to come out and take a look at him. It's down to a 7-point game, 51-44. 55 seconds remaining on the clock. I think they did get a Riverview timeout as that was going on as well, but for now, the only thing that matters is the 6'2 junior Amberson Bauer on the court underneath the basket after making that transition layup. And as soon as he went down, Mike, he immediately grabbed for that knee, and that's a basketball player's worst nightmare. Yeah, that's definitely not what you want to see. Obviously everyone's out here competing. Injuries are obviously a part of the game, but it's one of those things that it's a frustrating part of the basketball game, James. You never want to see that happen to an athlete. While they tend to Bauer, we're going to take a quick timeout here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
In workers' compensation, my clients are oftentimes not receiving their wage loss. They're not receiving their medical expenses. LGKG, they come to us so that we can put them in a position to pay their bills. If we're keeping our promises, our clients are getting the justice they deserve.
For 20 years,
when the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Shenango for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods, custom apparel, to embroidery, and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Good to see Anderson Bauer able to walk his way to the sideline with a little bit of assistance there, Mike. He's the leading scorer, 15 points, including 3 3-pointers in the game. A tough fall there, and good for him to see him go to the sideline, but he's going to be somebody who probably will be missed for the last 55 seconds of this game. Yeah, like we said, you never want to see anything like that. That's very unfortunate for this team. But as a team, you've got to kind of rally again. You've got to figure out a way to try and win this game, down 7 points. The game is not over. We're a couple missed buckets and a couple made shots away from this being real tight here in this last minute. Give another shout out to our friends at Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George. Your insurance company not always on your side, but the law offices of Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George are. Visit them online, lgkg.com, for your free consultation. Keeping promises for over 80 years. Well, the foul is coming. How long, if you're Riverview, do you go trying for the steal before you have to commit the foul at this point? I think you want to jump at least 1 or 2 passes. If you don't get a tip pass, if you don't get your hand on the basketball, then you've got to commit the foul. 55 seconds left. It will be double bonus time on the next foul against Riverview. Peters, tough time getting it inbounded, finally gets it to Ziegler in the backcourt. Double teamed there, and he's going to be ripped away, and I think we're getting a whistle, and going around the back with the foul was Ben Hauer, and Coach McGivney can't believe it. They had the tie-up, but the issue was the player from the back wrapped around, Mike. Yeah, you get a little bit excited there. You get a little bit active with your hands. You're trying to reach in there, get a tip pass, create a jump ball. Good effort, but made a little bit too much contact.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have it.
Now in the red zone, double bonus. First free throw on the way, and good for Shenango.
Yeah, if Shenango wants to ice this game, they've got to take care of the basketball. Once they get to the charity stripe, they've got to make sure they knock them down. That's a good start right there.
Second one on the way, rattles its way down as well. Ziegler with 8. Time winding down on Riverview. Top of the key, 3-pointer on the way. McElligott, look at that. The big man now with 9 points, 7 here in the fourth quarter. And then that's the last timeout called by Riverview with 41 seconds remaining. That's one aspect of the game. A lot of coaches and fans in the WPIAL have said, Mike, that they would like to see change. Less than a minute to play, maybe get that clock to stop like it is in college or the pros. Not the case in high school, and now with no timeouts left, Riverview cannot stop the clock the rest of the way. That's something I'm sure Coach McQuiston and his staff are saying in the Shenango huddle right now. Yeah, if they make a couple of buckets here and there, you don't want to rush yourselves. You don't want to generate turnovers because you're trying to get the basketball in bounds. Shenango's got a couple of timeouts left. They want to make sure they utilize those. The last thing that you want right now is to turn the ball over and give Riverview an easy bucket
with this game being close and with the amount of time that's left on the clock.
I mean, it looks like two different Riverview teams offensively here, Mike. They scored 10 points in the first half, 20 in the third quarter, and now 17 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's a tale of two halves. And, Shenango really hasn't done much differently. They've generated less turnovers, but that's really based on Riverview just taking care of the basketball a lot better. They haven't been as loose with the basketball within their hands.
No timeouts left for Riverview. Shenango still does have that one remaining. In the backcourt, McQuiston double team's going to try to split the double team. A foul for going over the back, and that foul is going to go against Nate Spraycar.
Yeah, that's unfortunate right there because they had an outstanding double team. McQuiston was in a little bit of trouble, but you reach in like that, go for the basketball, put yourself in a bad position, and that's a very easy call for a referee to make.
And especially, too, the arrow is pointing the other way, so it's not like, you have to go and do it again at that point, even if you did get the tie-up.
Mm-hmm.
So now McQuiston 2 of 3 at the line tonight so far, well short on the first attempt. Free throws. We're going to do some quick math, but it ain't pretty right now for Shenango. 9 of 21. Second one good. 27 now for McQuiston. Right to the rack. The other way goes Migley. He gets the bucket. Inbounds pass to Lenhart. They try to get the foul, and they couldn't get it. And Coach is not pleased because he was adamant that they wanted to foul Lenhart, and the officials didn't give it to him. Instead, they get it to Ziegler, and he'll get his 6th and 7th free throw attempts of the night. Coach McGivney giving it to the official.
Shenango did a good job right there, making sure they kept, care of the basketball. After the made bucket, they got it in, got it to the middle, were able to get the ball up the sideline, ultimately shooting some free throws here.
25 seconds remaining as Ziegler gets his 2 free throws, makes the first. Second one on the way for the junior. He's now made 4 in a row. He's in double digits with 10. Lead back up to 7, 3-possession game, and smart play there. Fouls to give, and Shenango will commit them. Force Riverview to inbound yet again. And it looks like they're going to get the foul again against Ziegler. So takes 3 or 4 more seconds off the clock. Mike, how do you feel about that coaching there from Shenango with those fouls to give?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. You want to make sure you're playing your game. It's an area where you can take control of what happens. Now it looks like they're going to get down a defensive stance and try and get a stop.
Yeah, no more fouls to give. Shot from Black is going to be blocked away by Ziegler. Peters flying into the hallway. You know who he's really reminding me of right now? A young man that you used to coach by the name of Wilson.
Yeah, doing all of the little things that make a big difference. Diving on the floor, getting the loose balls, getting tips, getting those offensive rebounds.
Three-pointer there, short, no good. Lenhart will get the rebound with 5 seconds left to go, and the clock will wind down. Shenango all but punches their ticket to the WPIAL postseason. They lead coast to coast, 56-49 here tonight over Riverview. We'll be back in a moment to recap it on the Tri-County Principals postgame show. Your voice for Lawrence County Sports. LCSportsNet.com, powered by LCAP.
Wherever you're going, Axe can get you there. The bowling alley, beauty salon, and even the library. Axe can get you there safely. The grocery store, the pharmacy, and the bank. Axe can get you there comfortably. Going to work, visiting a friend, or just to relax at the park. Axe can get you there affordably. Axe is here to get you there safely, comfortably, and affordably. Choose Axe as your driving service and give us a call to schedule a ride.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale-Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at LCAP.
For 20 years, Maley Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Maley Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet, but more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between, let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Cold winds blowing, temperatures dropping, and snow is beginning to fall. And then your furnace goes out. LCAP's LIHEAP Crisis Program is here to help. If your furnace is blowing cold air, not turning on, or not reaching the desired temperature, help is right around the corner, whether it needs fixed or replaced. For information, call the Department of Healthy Homes at 724-656-0090. LCAP's Healthy Home programs are the key to safer living.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity is really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
It's the Tri-County Principals postgame show here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Thanks to our friends at the Tri-County Principals Association and for all of our sponsors here on the Lawrence County SportsNet for all they do for us in providing coverage of Lawrence County basketball, volleyball, football, just about everything at lcsportsnet.com. I'm James Dotson, Mike Congles alongside. Your final score, Shenango 56, Riverview 49 here from Bill McNeese Gymnasium. 10 points in the first half, 39 in the second half for Riverview. A couple more shots in that first half to go down, Mike, and it is a completely different outcome. Credit to them for fighting back, but it's not going to be a big fight down the stretch. 2 games left. They would need to win both and get some help to make it now into the postseason.
Yeah, and it was that 10-point score in the first half that really was the difference maker. You know, it was a tale of 2 halves for our Riverview basketball team. And they just had a difficult time getting some of those buckets to fall. Had they had a couple of extra shots, you know, it would have turned this game into a potentially different outcome, you know, come down to the end of the wire.
Now at 2-6, they have a game tomorrow home against Olsh. So, yeah, needing to win those last 2, that hurts right there. And then they travel to Springdale on Friday to end out their season. On the other side, Shenango now at 4-5, winners of 3 of their last 4 in section play. They will take on Swickley Academy on the road tomorrow and then hosting Southside Beaver on Friday. So a quick turnaround for both of these squads. But, you know, they'll have a walkthrough real quick tomorrow. And, again, section game, second time through, they know their opponents, right? It won't be too much of a difficulty to get prepared for tomorrow's game, right?
Yeah, at this point in the season, everyone knows what everyone does. You know, there's not a whole lot that you have to prepare for. It's just kind of getting your mental state, making sure you're entering that game healthy, and putting your best foot forward and doing what you can to come out on top.
Couple of awards to give out. We'll start with our LCAP Player of the Game award. 27 points, Brody McQuiston. He is our LCAP Player of the Game. LCAP and the Lawrence County SportsNet proud to honor Brody McQuiston with tonight's Player of the Game award. He will receive a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of being named tonight's Player of the Game. And you can view the full list of Players of the Game online, lcsportsnet.com. Congratulations, Brody McQuiston, for being named tonight's LCAP Player of the Game. LCAP, changing lives. Dalton Peters, 12 points. Braden Ziegler with 10, also in double figures. Preston Schreiber with 4. Kyle Lenhart with 2 to round out the scoring for Shenango. On the other side, 15 for Amberson Bauer, and our thoughts with him suffering a knee injury late. Looked to be okay, was able to get off of the court with a little bit of assistance, but we hope the best for the 6'2 junior. He leads with 15 points, 3 3-pointers, 9 for Liam McElligott, 10 missed for Micah Black, 10 points for Micah, 6 points for Ben Hauer, 4 for Luke Migley, and 2 each for Nate Spraycar and Christian McDowell. One final award to give out here, Mike, and we're going to give our Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game award early. The and one early in the third quarter by Dalton Peters put it back to a double-digit lead. Our Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game. You could have picked any number of the defensive plays he's made, but that one, a turnover turned into an and one, is the one we'll select for our Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game. Dalton Peters, the senior, will receive a customized T-shirt courtesy of Maley Chiropractic in honor of tonight's Play of the Game, and video may appear on Trib Live's standout platform on Twitter and Instagram. Congratulations, Dalton Peters, your Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. Shenango now at 4-5. Springdale and Southside Beaver were a game ahead coming into tonight's game. They also have makeup games to play, Mike. But real quick before we sign off, just talk about what you saw from the Shenango squad tonight. They'll probably be the 4, maybe the 3 seed coming out of this section, but they'll be a difficult out when it comes to this Class 2A tournament.
Yeah, they play tough basketball. Like we said, they're active, hands in the passing lanes, got a lot of deflections. That really helped to springboard them into the second half with a good lead, generated a good offensive game plan for them as well. And, it looks like they're getting hot at the right time. This is the time where you really want things to start to mesh down towards the end of the regular season. And hopefully that could springboard them into the playoffs, getting a good little run here.
Victorious 56-49 tonight over Riverview. Mike Conglos, welcome aboard. Well done, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll have another invite here in the near future.
You have an open invite as far as I'm concerned after tonight. 56-49 your final score here from Bill McNeese Gymnasium. Tonight's broadcast on Lawrence County SportsNet brought to you by Maley Chiropractic, by the Red Zone, by Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George, by the Crane Room Grill, by Pontius Insurance, by the Tri-County Principals Association, and by the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Running the graphics today, Robbie Nattel. On camera, Lee Moan, and Rachel Bowen. Analyst today, Mr. Michael Conglos. This is James Dotson signing off and inviting you to tune in tomorrow, Neshannock against Laurel in a section matchup at the home of the Lancers. But here from Bill McNeese Gymnasium, your final score one last time, Shenango 56, Riverview 49. Thank you for joining us on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.